and they're like family to you, and then you think of the liability, and then OSHA's going to come and shut you down, write you a $10,000 fine just because they want to justify having an office, and it goes on, and that's the other thing you got to take into mind is okay, let's say somebody makes a lot of money, but they're always stressed out. Is that success? So you really got to think about it and appreciate what you have. And I think ultimately the happy people will be happy with whatever they have. I lived in a really bad area, a certain part of Whittier that I didn't like, and I lived there because rent was cheap. I wanted an area that was kind of busy, that way nobody could complain about equipment or me running an office out of the house. So I picked a certain area, and I was happy with it. It was noisy, next to one of the busiest streets, I think, in the universe. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. We're happy, and we have our own place, have a backyard, front yard, and when the cars go by, it sound like the ocean. And I'd say a lot of people spend a lot of money, $35 million, we just talked about. And then my mother-in-law told me, check on that Megan's Law for the hell of it. So I checked, and of course I had somebody across the street, and somebody next door to me that were on that Megan's list, which is the pedophiles or whatever, or people that have committed some sort of heinous crime towards kids. And so I bought a pit bull, and then I moved. So it's I moved into a really nice area in the hills and in Anaheim, and best city in the world as far as I'm concerned, at least that part of the city. But if I wasn't happy at one place, I wouldn't be happy where I'm at now, because I could sit around and listen to other people complain about where I live, and I'm thinking, never thought about that. So anyway, I will, somebody's calling me right now, so let me just reject that, and maybe I will take a break, and we will pick this up later. Hey everybody, it is me again. I just my wife called in the middle, so I better take the call. And I was supposed to go to a commercial, but I didn't. I couldn't do it on the fly. So lucky you guys, you don't get to hear it. So basically, you kind of get what I'm saying is, when somebody was in an elevator one time with me. We were at a golf course and staying at a hotel, and I heard the guy say, talking about how much money he was making, like $400,000 on one of his stocks or whatever. And I'm listening to him, and I just reminded of that LL Cool J song. It's man made the money, money never made the man. I think for him to go around and for that to be on his mind, to be saying it out loud, there's probably bigger issues that he's working on, and that money is compensating for so much. But I guarantee you that will be it's a source of his joy right now, but it'll be the source of his misery later. Anything that is too, like for instance, let's say you have an iPad or an iPod. It's all your songs are on there. It's a source of your happiness, or even your cell phone. But guess what? When you forget to charge it, or you can't find it, or the kid drops it, it will now be the source of your misery too. So, that kind of stuff. It's the more you count on it for your happiness, the more it's just going to let you down when it either just loses its salt or eventually isn't around anymore. You want your happiness to be based on things that you've worked on, like learning an instrument or a piano. If you go and sit in front of a piano and you can play it, that, and I think that will add to your happiness more than a lot of things. It's the weirdest thing. It sounds stupid, but no, little things like that are what life's made of. So anyway, you got the genesis of this conversation was the Kardashians and their success, and I think it's fun to toy with it or use it as motivation, but as long as you know its place, and it just, you got to know the power of it, almost like the Lord of the Ring. You that ring, if you're too into it, you put your finger in it, it'll possess you. But if there are certain times in that movie where they use it to achieve certain things. And, if like, let's say you do want a new car and you don't feel like going to work, use the car to help you go to work or start a business. But again, just don't think that, you're going to buy these cars and that's going to be your happiness. I think if everything's balanced out, that stuff works great. Because let's face it, there's always new cars. There's always going to be new models, and you'll be chasing your tail the rest of your life. I know people personally that have car collections are just out of this world. I mean, probably some of the biggest car collections that rival even Jay Leno, and they are some of the most miserable people. Not Jay, but the people that I know. Literally is one of the most miserable customers I've ever had. Is one of the guys with the biggest car collections. Complain about everything, and then when he just wouldn't complain, he would insult me, and it wasn't even me; it was my employees screwing up, and so he'd call me, and like 10 minutes into or 5 minutes into it, it's like, all right, already, I get it. You weren't hugged as a child, whatever it is, but it just. As far as the world goes, this guy, when they look at him, to see him and everything he has, but I look at, he has kids, and I'm thinking, his poor kids, I'm sure that trickles down to them, and they see it, and they see people hate their dad, people that they like, and you can't tell me that doesn't creep back into the dad's psyche. I love it when people say, "Oh, your dad is so nice," and when my kids hear it, that's just, to me, that just, it's like a sparkle, and stuff like that. It doesn't sound sexy, and as if, oh yeah, I got this new hot rod, but a lifetime of me doing little things like that, knowing that my kids respect me. Is worth more than a car collection. Let's face it, you can only really drive one car at a time anyway. It's funny, these people that do have the big car collections, the cars do get older, and now you got to take care of them, and you see the guys with the car chargers going everywhere, and now it just becomes it's almost like the car's on incubators and they can't drive it, and I guarantee you, if you talk to the guys, they'd probably say when they were 16, their first car they got, they appreciated that one much, much more. These guys that are successful, let's say you have your company, but if you could adjust the company to where you're more whole as a person, and even if you're working like overtime, adjust it to where you're productive, but you're enjoying your life, and then enjoying the things you have. I'm telling you, you will be happier, and that makes you successful. Again, it's just harder to articulate that to people. They don't see it, but that is the truth. Hey guys, we love sugar. Sugar tastes good. Problem is, it's causing obesity, it's linked to type 2 diabetes, so we switch over to artificial sweeteners, which at a certain level become bitter, and now it's linked to early dementia. In fact, if you're drinking diet sodas on a regular basis, you're 10 times more likely, studies say, in getting early dementia. So we have a sugar, it's called Next Sugar. It tastes great. It's as sweet as sugar. It's 100% on the sweetness index. Yes, there is an index for that. And guess what? It's half the calories, guys. You can bake with it, try it, get going, do your thing. All right, how you guys doing? We're back, and staying on that same note is having things. Let's say you have a lot of money, you have a lot of time off. One thing I noticed too is if you're working, let's say Monday through Friday, you get off, you're tired, the weekend comes, you got your Saturday and Sunday to enjoy. If you are just sitting in your house watching CNN all day, you're not going to appreciate the weekend. So life is about balance in that, let's face it, if you go to the beach and just lay there, you're only going to appreciate it is if you're tired from working ahead of time. So when you guys are, let's say you're out there either in the office and trying to stay awake or digging ditches, when you're actually pulling a rubber band back, so when you release it, you'll go farther as far as you enjoying whatever you're doing. A lot of people I know, they'll go through the motions of the weekend and vacation, but they don't really enjoy it. It's just normal. So it's almost like the hot tub. If you can only be in there for so long and enjoy it, after a while it becomes normal. So I think the Monday through Friday or 6 days a week, that is not a curse. A lot of people think, oh, if I won the lotto, because no, I know people that won the lotto. There's one couple in particular. They're good people. They're happy people. They did it right. But I think he was just as happy when he used to work, because he's just a good person. He's a good, solid person. But you tend to. He was telling me when he goes on vacations, he has to spend $50,000 to go on a cruise because, he just has to keep on ratcheting it up, spending more, and because you have to outdo or do at least what you did last time. Where if I go on a Carnival cruise, hey, give me the $300 package and I'm gold, man. I'm happy because I'm not working. Get to be with my family again and enjoy it. So it's a real a simple thing is you're paying your dues and to enjoy when you're getting off, and you can do your thing. But if you're always just if you have rich parents or whatever sitting around and you don't have to do anything, then you'll never get that enjoyment that luckily we as successful people that work hard will get.